2 a.m. in the morning, and I'm in the bottom of my shed, just talking. It's great. I love it. I've just done a video. There's a very different tone to this about the Grinch. Fucking ain't that guy. But yeah, I'm on a bit of a roll. I'm on like an energy spike, so I'm gonna make the most of it. And I had a really nice experience today. And yeah, so I just kind of let me tell you a story. So, what I prayed for over the last few nights, I definitely prayed for it last night. Don't know if I prayed for it the night before, but I think I would have. Was for wisdom, because I was like, all these things are happening, and I was trusting God, but I realized that I don't need to understand why these things are happening, and things may be happening that I don't like, and that's the reason they're happening. If I'm thinking, God, like, help me, I may be in that confusion just to see what I do. But I sort of just put it out there. I said, God, if it's okay with you, your will be done. But if it's okay with you, can you just help me understand this a bit more? Not because I don't lack faith. I made a commitment here, and I'll keep making this commitment again and again and again. But I feel like these things are just happening to me, and I'm not learning from it. And I feel like, and I always say in my prayers, bring me closer to you. And I think that would help me be brought closer to you. If it's not, your will be done. That's okay. I'll stay in the dark. But I wouldn't mind that. But yeah. And what I always find when I pray, I've had so many weird things. And what's weird is there are 3 big things I can think of. There was like, what? When I was starting to get into religion, okay, it was a really weird coincidence. The Grinch video, 3. That's a bit too many to be like, yeah, coincidence. Like, okay, like let's give us more thought. And now I'm here. But yeah, and with all of those things, things always happen in a way that I never foresaw happening. So one of the things I could think with wisdom would be, give me like a really difficult thing, or maybe a hard puzzle to solve, and I'll do this, or a difficult physical task, and I'll do that, and from the pain and the stuff, I'll get wisdom. And that is how I would test someone if they said, give me wisdom. I would sit them down and the best thing I've found recently is that wisdom's got from experience, and I love it because it means that I just get a great excuse to just jump into new experience. But that isn't what happened, and I love it. And this is a great story to tell because of it. I visited my grandparents this morning, and they're so nice. My nan is like the nicest person of all time. People say she worries a bit much, but it's because you care, and it's not like a bad worry. It's like, let me go and get more biscuits or something. It's so awesome. The problem is, it doesn't mean that sometimes my nan is going to be like, let's pause the conversation. I'll go get more biscuits in case you want that. It's like, no, Dad, I've got so many biscuits already here. We'll keep talking, and then get biscuits later. I'm waffling. And I think, and my nan said, we've got some old photos of you. I don't know how it came up. Yeah. So of old photos of my dad and them. And she said, do you want to see him? And yeah, sure. And she gives us these 2 photos, and one's like a school photo. My dad looks so much, the eyes, me and my dad have the same eyes. Maybe more when we were really young. And then she gave us another photo of her and my granddad, their wedding anniversary with my dad and his their kids, and all together in that. And again, my dad, as a 17-year-old, people always say people from the 60s look way more older or something than my dad ain't from the 60s. I know people from longer ago look older than people do of today. A 17-year-old now looks younger than a 17-year-old then. And oh my God, my dad But no, he looked like a 30-year-old now. Not like a bad way, like a good way. It's like, looks mature, but like I still got like, I don't know, maybe a bit of baby fat or whatever. Like, still look like I'm nowhere near to looking like a full-grown man, and this dude was. And then I was like, oh, these photos are really cool. Me and my brother's getting well into it, and she goes, oh, I got more. Brings out photo albums. I have never seen a photo of my nan and granddad. They're maybe 70, 80, so they're quite old. I've never seen a photo of them being younger. And so I opened this, and same with my dad. I didn't really see too many like photos from his like childhood, and my mum as well, I guess. But I don't really have a good memory for these sort of things, so I wouldn't have remembered it either. And I just opened it, and I'm like, whoa, like. Because, okay, so their eyes and their mouth are like the same, but just I guess their face shape changes. I guess as you age, you get wrinkles and like skin, like, and so your face changes shape. But it kind of like suddenly strikes me that like these people are completely different in a way, not in like a bad way of like the mental image I have of my like my like grandparents or like parents. Like, I'm not thinking, oh my god, you're a completely different person. Now you're just known as like the older person. Like, no. But it was like, whoa, these people were just like me. Or like they've had lives. They're not just, this is how I explain it. Like, my, I guess, subconscious mental creation or idea of my nan or my relatives, or people I know, I guess, just like even my friends, maybe they're just my friend, or they're my grandparent, they're my parent. But behind that, they're their own person, and to them, I'm their son, their friend, their grandson. Like, what? And I'm looking through these photos, and there's memory after memory. I'm like, I never saw these people in this light, and it's so weirdly enriching. I kind of, I don't know, it's really interesting, and and this was with the whole album, and even from the start when we didn't know anything about the albums, and it was just the single like photo, I was looking at that thing for minutes, because I was like, I don't know, I felt like I was kind of looking into. I don't know, like there was like something else going on rather than just like, oh, this is a photo, this is a photo. Like, I was seeing something, because I guess I still had the connections going off in my brain of like, oh, this is the person, this is your dad. But then there's all these new things like, okay, well, this is definitely your dad, but like, why is his hair long? Why is he looking like really slim? No offense, Dad, you look great. My dad actually does look, I think, pretty good for like however old he is. and it's like, what? It's like you look like me kind of as well with like one of the younger ones. It's like, it's so weird. It's so weird. And then I was like, okay, so I'm having like this bit of like a thing. Why? Like, and again, at this point, I'm not even thinking about the wisdom thing. I only just realised that now, that this is like a really interesting insight. But I was like, shit, when I'm looking through these photos, I can see my dad go from being a kid, like a baby, to a toddler, to a kid, to teenager, to my age, even though he's looking like double my age, in a good way. And then he just spawns in on like halfway through the book with a baby in his arms. I'm like, holy shit. Like, this dude is the exact same. He looks the exact same in this photo as he does in the photo on the page before, where he's just some like guy chilling with his girlfriend, who's my mom, like living life. And then there's me. I was like, there's so much more. Like, I'd only really previously kind of, I think, had such a strong image of just, he's my dad, instead of like, this is a person not in like a, but this sounds bad maybe, but it's not bad, but this is a person, and I'm his son kind of flips it. Maybe that's the way we want to take it. Maybe I want to say, oh no, instead of he's my dad, I'm his son. But this dude has a whole life that was going on before me. What? And then that kind of made me reflect. I actually haven't got a chance to attempt it because we're a bit busy, but I think he knows it. But I was like, shit. I just want to say I love you. I was like, and the same to my mom, and I can give people, I think, quite a hard time. I think everyone can, but I know that there are things that it kind of made me think like, oh, I've given my dad such a hard time, but like, because in my mind, like he's my dad. It's like, just say if there was like something like complete made up scenario. Say I like broke my toy, and I was like, Dad, I broke my toy, fix it. He's like, oh, I don't know how. Like, I don't know how. It's like, but you're my dad. It's like my mental idea of a dad is like the dude who can do it all. And my dad can do it all. He's so great. He randomly fixed a laptop for me. That kind of really needed him to do that as well. But he just kind of did it. And I was like, that's great. But it's like, say if he couldn't fix the toy, I'm like, oh, come on, man. Like, oh, come on, man. You haven't fixed my toy. You're my dad. You're supposed to be able to do this. And then he's just like, and then he's, obviously that's difficult for him because he's like, fuck, I can't help my kid out. And I was like, but it really hit me. Like, this is his first time being a dad. Like, even though and I was trying to, everyone's just people. Everyone's just like people going about and doing things. And there's not a clear-cut point where you just become like the dad, or from like it's maybe incredibly gradual, or maybe it's like just you're just a person. You just learn new things. The one thing I would say is that like the fact that I guess I have the mental image of my dad being able to do like these things, and so I'd be like, oh come on, like how could you not fix it? You're the guy that fixed it. Probably is a good indicator that he is actually very good at fixing stuff, or like solving problems. Because otherwise, I'd be thinking, well, like I wouldn't expect him to do it because my idea of a dad is someone who doesn't fix toys and things. So, but it's like I can really give people a hard time if like you get the wrong idea of that, and I think it's really dangerous with like social media because like what the hell are you going to do if your kid has been scrolling all day, or which is so bad. I'm like debating maybe like just kind of going AWOL from like social media and everything because it's like I don't know. But imagine like they've been looking at their phone all day and they've got in their idea what like they just not anything like super bad, like nothing like because you could so easily go like, oh, toxic masculinity, like it's just rubbish, you know. But like even just stuff like if you see too many videos of I don't know what it means to be a good friend or a good partner, all these things, and you that instead of a healthy figure and a good example of say a dad feeding that into you of your idea of a dad as you form it, you just have these things from the internet that are going to be put out there to get people's attention. Or I mean everything gets put out there. I don't want to put this out to just grab people's attention. I was thinking a little bit of, do I want to I could post something like gym pics. I could probably post Clash gameplay because I love fucking Clash. It's level 16, awful update though, and that would really help with retention because you know people can they can just glaze over their eyes, go a bit like, let's watch your gameplay, and have my voice in the background. But I didn't want that because it's not good for people. Like it's really bad, and it's like. You don't get rewarded for like this, I guess, but like I don't really care. Like I want to help people, so this is helping people. But yeah, but if they put whatever rubbish out on the internet, the stuff that's most likely going to get recommended to the kid is the stuff that's most popular, which is the most controversial stuff usually because it spikes the most like emotions and things. And so you're then going to have kids like going to their parents like, oh, mum, like, why are you not, I don't know, this ideal, perfect idea of whatever the kid's got from his phone of whatever, like, I don't know, a mum should be or a dad should be or a grand, like, you're crazy. And you're going to have so many conflicts. And it's like, wow. I don't even think what else happened that for our album. That was so cool. It kind of also made me really realise, like, looking through and seeing all these different people, of like, oh, I really want a big family, maybe. Well, not like a big family, but like, I feel maybe one of the things that I have sometimes done without knowing is if I haven't, again, I don't have the best memory for just sort of things. I've got a great memory for some stuff, but I don't really remember like experiences because I prefer to just like live and like soak it in. But then that always seems to just like complete go out my brain. There have been many days where I've gone into school and not known what day of the week it was. What day of the week is it today? Sunday, there you go. But on on Friday, I thought it was Wednesday. That has made for the most interesting gym splits of all time because I think I've been going like PPL, PPL, PPL. Actually, no, I mean, recently it's been way, way more push. I got 115, by the way. 120 is happening before the end of the year. We've got like 10-ish days. 115 went up really well. I might try 120 tomorrow. It's going to be so good. But yeah, and I think because I don't have a good memory and stuff like that, or I've kind of compartmentalized, however you want to say that, these people into boxes of you're my dad, you're my mum, and it's very efficient for thinking because I can just kind of background it all. But then that sort of leaves me maybe thinking like, what am I? It's like, actually, I don't know if that is what I'm thinking. I think it's like a logical extension of it, but it's not what I'm feeling at all. But I don't think it kind of, instead of compartmentalizing and seeing the depth to like this photo album, it kind of really grounded me. It felt like it's like, oh, I know all these people doing all these things. Like, I think that's what it was, and you don't get that if you're just so this is mother, this is father, this is you, family tree, like, because even if for someone to look at a family tree and be like, oh, like this is the family tree, and I go, wow, unless it's like a huge scale, they're going to be going, wow, because they're going to be looking at people and like, and he was this, and she was doing that, and they did this together, and they had like this kid who went and did that, and all of these things are coming back, which get captured in the photo album. It was so interesting, and I never would have thought of it, and I've just come out of that thinking like, like it really changed like a lot of the way I thought about things. I'm like, damn. And only realising it now that I've been praying for wisdom, I was like, God's doing something to me, man. I'm liking it. Sounds weird. I didn't go to church last week. I don't think it's a huge deal. I know some people are very big on sort of like, but you don't. There are a bunch of Bible quotes. One of the things I love about like just Jesus is whenever it's going to be a bit random, but sex before marriage. A lot of Christian people and like religious people, everyone's entitled to their own beliefs about how like stuff will work, how they want stuff to work. But they were like, no, like you don't do that. You wait to get married. I was like, fair enough. And so I was like thinking, I wonder like that's what I've heard. I wonder what the Bible says. ChatGPT, spreading the gospel, amazing. I ask it, where does it come from? Where does Jesus say it? Because the key thing I think is important is that there's sort of believing in Jesus, and then there's like kind of like religion. there's a much better way to phrase it. I think like Cliff Nietzsche or whatever said it, something like this really well. But you get the Crusades, you get like the witch trials or the persecutions from like the religious tradition side of stuff, but the belief side of stuff, which is where I'm kind of coming in from, and then like, you know, dipping in whatever's good over here. Cultural Christianity, I think, is probably over here if you just kind of get brought up in it instead of like maybe coming at it from a different angle. But believing in Jesus, that's like my go-to, because I know Jesus like existed. Like if you don't believe that, like basically all of history, you just can't believe, because there aren't. It's so reliable, the data. Maybe that'd be a good video to do. And yeah. And it says, oh, well, Jesus never really spoke about it. It comes from like a Jewish tradition that was there before it, and that kind of got put into the Bible. I was like, oh. I was like, to me, when I was, and this kind of, I think I mentioned it earlier, like, what do I feel? What am I thinking? And sort of just trying to like pick apart things a little bit, and like an emotion is like maybe a little like thread that I can just follow and then understand a little more. And I was thinking about sex before marriage stuff, and I was like, well, it doesn't feel wrong if I'm making like, if I'm committed to this person, because, and obviously like, people can maybe still break up after it, but it's like that the covenant you make is not physical. Obviously you're willing to disagree, but it's like a spiritual thing, and obviously there are components like everything in everything, but if you don't want it to be like you kind of get married to have sex. It's like the marriage is the most important thing above everything. And so then I was like, oh, well, like, I mean, if there just is a problem with it, there's probably going to be a good reason. And if it's not like outright a good reason, but Jesus says you don't have sex before marriage, I'll believe it. And I'll trust it. But no, there's nothing about it. And I was like, oh, damn, that's like chill. Like God seems really chill. Not like a so then you just go and have sex with everyone. No, because what Jesus did say is like if you look at a woman sinfully or with lust, you've already committed adultery in your mind. Completely agree. And it's like it's just a good way to live. It's not strict or constrictive. I feel like you live fully from this, because I really don't feel like there's been restrictions put on my life because of it. How did I get onto this? Religion, church. Oh yeah, I haven't been to church last week, and I think it's okay. I like the community there. There's a lot of singing, which is cool. I do like the singing. I don't know if the singing I would say brings me closer to God, but I think it's a great way to just sort of chill with people. And last week I had a bunch of stuff going on where I was like, yeah, I'll pray and stuff, and like yeah, it's not the end of the world if I miss church. But there have been some really good times at church. One of which was part of my big three sort of things. I was like, damn. And so maybe I missed out on a miracle there, but I got maybe a mini miracle in the form of photographs, and it was awesome. I'm so grateful for it. Love you, Nan. Love you, Grandad. Love you, everybody. I don't know when I'd want to drop this. It's right after the Grinch thing. Maybe we'll chuck them up at the same time and see how they do. A little double bill. All right. See you, everybody. Wait, impersonation. Stoic from Dragon's How to Train Your Dragon, talking to his wife in the second one when he sees her. This might take a little while. You as beautiful as the day I lost you. You as beautiful as the day I lost you. Not perfect, but it's off the fly, and I can do it really well, I think, with practice. But yeah, that's all you're getting. Peace out. Adios.